What we have left to talk about is how to override existing theme functions and files. So we're not dealing with the variables, but we're dealing with the markup that's generated through the theme function or file. Let's start by looking at how to override theme functions. Go ahead and jump to your module folder, and in the steps folder, go ahead and open up the 9th step, which is called overriding functions. Go ahead and copy the entire code and paste it over the code in your lookandfeel.module file. Save it. Okay, now what we've added to this version are two things. One is a function that's an implementation of hook theme registry alter. You can learn more about this function on this page on api.drupal.org. So the structure of this hook is pretty simple. It just takes one parameter, which is the theme registry, and this is the entire theme registry that gets built when we build the theme registry when the cache gets cleared. So this is an array that contains all of the theme functions and all of the template files listed, as well as some additional parameters. And it's passed as a reference with this ampersand, and so any changes made to this variable are made to the parent function as well. In it, what we're doing is changing an item so that we're registering an alternate theme function. Instead of using item list, the default that's set by core, we're using our own function. I'm going to go ahead and set a breakpoint right here, and we're going to run through this script and stop here so we can take a look at what the theme registry actually looks like. So I'm going to go back to our browser, and I'm going to start a debugging session in the browser, and I'm going to flush all caches. I'm going to go ahead and jump back to the editor, and here we have the script stopped right in the middle of our theme registry alter function. Okay, now we can expand our theme registry variable here and take a look at its structure. If we scroll down, we see that there are a ton of theme functions and template files here. Let's go ahead and find our item list theme function. Now you might have to scroll down quite a bit to get there. Here it is right here. I'm going to go ahead and expand this. So we have a few items set here. We have the variables that get passed to it, the type, this is registered in a module, and the theme path, which is where the original theme function is registered into, and the function, which is theme item list. Now, because this is basically the final say as to what these variables are inside of the theme registry, we can replace this function with a totally different function, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So first of all, what we'll want to do to get started is to copy the function theme item list and go from there. So let's go ahead and find that. There's a couple of different ways to find this function, including grep, and in Komodo you can actually search through a project. But what I'm going to do here is copy this, and I'm going to just paste it into the code real quick, and I'm going to hold down Control and click it, and that will jump to the instance of it in my Drupal install. Now here is the function. So all I've done is copied this entire function, and I've pasted it into the look and feel module down here. I'm going to go ahead and erase this and replace the name with theme item list version 2. So instead of theme item list, we've added a version 2 to the end of it. All I've done to change this theme function is down here, instead of using a UL or OL tag like we would in the original function, I've just replaced it with a div. Then I'm going to scroll down here. And instead of wrapping the items in LI tags, we're wrapping them in paragraph tags. And then finally, at the end, we're ending the div tag instead of ending the UL or OL tag. So what this will do is, instead of rendering the list as a HTML list, it will render it as a list in paragraphs. I've also added a little dash to indicate that this is kind of a list item. Let's go ahead and scroll up and take a look at this hook theme registry alter again. So here, we're taking the theme registry and the item list item, and we're taking the function variable inside of the item list, and we're assigning it a new function called theme item list version 2. Originally it was theme item list. So now when we flush our caches and rebuild the theme registry, it will at the very end check our hook theme registry alter, and it will register this function instead of the list function. So our list in our first examples that we built will show up as paragraph lists instead of HTML lists. Let's go ahead and jump back to the browser and flush our caches. Okay, now we see here we've got our items listed as paragraphs. You can tell because there's spacing, and then there's that dash that we added in.